Hey everyone, and welcome. This deep dive is part of the Blueprint program, where we dig into the key innovations that literally built the world around us. If you want to see the full series, definitely head over to our YouTube channel. All right, let's get started.
So think about this for a second. It sounds like a total paradox, right? Early humans, they had access to pure metals like copper. But here was the catch. They were super soft. I mean, you can't exactly build a lasting empire on tools that bend or swords that go dull after one or two swings. So how on earth did they solve this massive material problem?
Well, the answer was just pure ingenuity. They figured out how to mix metals, creating something brand new, something way more powerful. This whole process of creating an alloy, or as a chemist might call it, a solid solution, that was the secret sauce. It wasn't just about mushing things together, it was about fundamentally redesigning the very materials they had to work with.
And the very first huge success story in this whole journey was bronze. I mean, this single innovation, it didn't just kick off a new age, it completely rewrote the rulebook for what humanity could achieve.
And you know what's wild? The recipe was surprisingly simple. You just take your base metal, copper, which is pretty common, but again, soft. Then you add just a little bit of a hardener, in this case tin, and boom. The result was a completely revolutionary new material.
What's really incredible is that this whole thing, this monumental leap, it probably started as a complete accident. You can just imagine it, right? Some early metal workers grab some copper ore that just happens to have some tin mixed in, they smelt it down, and the metal that comes out is just shockingly better. It's harder, it holds an edge, it's way more durable. They had to figure out why. And once they did, it kicked off this massive, almost global supply chain for tin, all to create the one alloy that would go on to build empires.
But bronze had a critical flaw, and it wasn't its strength, it was its price tag. See, the ingredients, especially tin, were getting rare and pretty expensive. So this economic pressure, it forced everyone to start looking for an alternative, something that was everywhere and, well, cheap. So here's the trade-off they were staring at. Bronze was, without a doubt, the better performing metal. But iron? Iron was everywhere. The challenge was crystal clear. How do you take this common, but kind of weak metal and make it strong enough to actually replace bronze?
And the answer, once again, was a brand new recipe. Only this time, the magic ingredient wasn't another metal, it was a non-metal, carbon. Just by dissolving a tiny bit of carbon, the solute, into the base iron, the solvent, they created something that would one day be even better than bronze. They created steel.
And get this. This was basically atomic-level engineering, even though they had no idea what an atom was. The tiny carbon atoms from the charcoal fires would actually sneak into the iron's atomic structure, locking everything in place and making it way, way stronger. Master blacksmiths, the ones making legendary wood steel, or those incredible Japanese katanas, they learned to control this process with pinpoint precision, creating blades that were famous for being both incredibly hard and unbelievably flexible. But look, human needs are always more complicated than just fighting wars and growing food. As civilizations got bigger and more complex, they needed new materials, not just for strength, but for things like commerce and art and culture. And this led to a whole new era defined by a totally different kind of alloy.
So it's back to the recipe book. But the goal is different this time. By mixing copper with zinc, they created brass. Now, zinc didn't really add hardness like tin or carbon did. Instead, it brought totally new things to the table, malleability and this brilliant gold-like shine.
And these new properties? Oh, they were an absolute game changer. Brass was perfect for stamping into coins, which totally revolutionized how people did business. Its beauty made it amazing for decorative armor and art, and because it resisted rust and had great acoustic properties, it became the go-to material for making musical instruments that could last for hundreds of years. So let's just pause and think about that. In about 3,000 years, humanity went from just stumbling upon new metals by accident to intentionally creating very specific alloys for very specific needs, whether that was strength, cost, or even just beauty. It's an incredible story. And hey, if you're finding this deep dive valuable, please take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more.
Okay, so for thousands of years, making alloys was this slow, manual, almost artistic process, but everything was about to change. And I mean everything. The age of happy accidents was pretty much over, and the age of precise industrial science was just about to begin.
The real turning point hits right here in the mid-19th century. In just a few decades, our ability to make and understand alloys would leap further than it had in the past 3,000 years combined.
First up, we get the Bessemer process. This invention meant we could suddenly mass-produce high-quality steel for cheap. All of a sudden, the material that was once for elite swords was now available to build the entire skeleton of the modern world, our railroads, our bridges, our very first skyscrapers.
Next up, we decided we wanted to fly. Now, pure aluminum is super light, but it's also really weak. So by alloying it with elements like copper and zinc, engineers created materials that were strong enough to handle the crazy stresses of flight, but still light enough to actually get off the ground. Modern aviation? It was literally born from these alloys.
And that brings us to the absolute peak of material science today, superalloys. We're not talking simple two-ingredient recipes anymore. These things are complex cocktails of nickel, cobalt, and titanium, all meticulously designed to survive in the most extreme environments you can possibly imagine, like the 1,500 degrees Celsius inferno raging inside a modern jet engine.
So when you step back and look at the whole story, the journey has been absolutely mind-blowing. We went from being totally at the mercy of whatever materials we could dig out of the ground to becoming the masters of the materials we can literally dream up. This one sentence right here, I think it just captures the entire story of human progress perfectly, all through the lens of material science. It's a story that starts with a happy accident around a campfire and ends with us using supercomputers to design brand new metals for traveling between planets.
We have the Bronze Age, the Iron Age. Each one was defined by the material that made it possible. As we keep pushing the boundaries of what we can create, it just leaves you with this one huge, fascinating question. What new alloy, what new material is going to be the foundation for the next great chapter of our civilization?